Thank you, Bob. Just for the record, I want to say that they are Rackers. Rackers. Racker is a Rackspace employee, and I hope you hear that more and more over the coming years. Today, Austin's an important place to Rackspace. Rackspace has nearly 4,500 total Rackers around the country, and of that, 400 are here in Austin. So Austin has become an increasingly important part of our strategy because Austin is becoming part of our region that is also the San Antonio region. And San Antonio, of course, wants to be part of your region. I think we're stronger as a region. And I've been studying regions, and it's just a few months ago, I went over to Israel because I read a book called The Startup Nation. Has anyone read that book? Absolutely fantastic book. I went there because I'm fascinated with entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship. One of my favorite things about Rackspace is that we get to meet lots of cool new companies. YouTube started at Rackspace. I mean, there are so many great companies that have started Rackspace today. We have 170,000 customers, customers that are paying us anything from $50 a month to millions a month. And so we kind of get a glimpse of a lot of these up-and-comers. So as I prepared to come here yesterday, I looked over the list of who was attending, and you're a pretty amazing group. You really are. And Rackspace is proud to be a member now. You should look at the list. Take a moment to look at the list. It's pretty amazing. The world's established technology companies are here. That is, companies like Google and Facebook and Zynga, companies like Dell. That is, these are the establishments, and let me see, Zynga's a newcomer perhaps. But the establishment of the tech world already knows the power of Austin, already recognizes it, relies on it, values it. But also, the part that I love the best is all the new companies, the new ideas. I mean, companies like Digby, who's here. That is companies like MapMyFitness, which, by the way, I'm a customer. It's not working so far. It's not working so far. I can't wait for it to suddenly shed the pounds. Companies like Spreadfast in the social media space. That is, these are all just cool ideas, and we never know how big they're going to be. And part of being an entrepreneur is not knowing that. An entrepreneur has to be totally committed, has to totally believe, and yet never knows for sure. It's that anxiety that fuels entrepreneurs into action. And really, to me, entrepreneurship is about dreaming and doing. And that's what America is known for. So when I went over to Israel, I sat down in front of the people who were interviewed for the book, Startup Nation, and I said, how did you make Israel a startup nation? How did you do it? I want to do it in Texas. How did you do it? And they started rattling off their amazing ascension to being the #2 region for entrepreneurship in the world, second only to Silicon Valley. In fact, there's more venture capital invested each year in Israel than every other region in America except for Silicon Valley. That is amazing. And it all began with a plan in 1993 when the Berlin Wall fell. When the Berlin Wall fell, 1.8 million Russian Jewish refugees migrated to Israel, a country of only 5 million people at that time. Imagine 40% increase in population in just a matter of months. That's hard to cope with. What they did was they sat down and put together a plan of how they were going to give jobs. Not give jobs, but create jobs. They laid out a plan to become a startup nation, a nation of entrepreneurs, and they did it. It's phenomenal. The government was involved, venture capital was involved, entrepreneurs were involved, business people were involved. They raised money from around the world, and today here we are. Israel is an undisputed part of the tech establishment. A powerhouse. That's the kind of powerhouse that Austin and San Antonio can be. We've got a good start. I was standing in front of, I was interviewing an executive from a company that's represented here today that makes microchip fab equipment. And when I was with this, interviewing this man in Israel, he told me that he had just been told by his company that all R&D was going to be shipped to Israel and away from America. And I thought, wow. I thought America is where the R&D happened and manufacturing is helping elsewhere. That's changing. What's happening is, not only do we see disruption in technology, I mean, like the BlackBerry's being disrupted, like Blockbuster Video was disrupted, the furniture industry was being disrupted. We know the call centers were disrupted over the last 2 decades, but America itself is being disrupted. Who is it that is most subject to disruption? Is the incumbents of the world. And America is the home of those incumbents. So to Israel, to countries like Canada, to Brazil, to India, to China, they want what we invented. You know what they want so badly? Do you know America's greatest invention by far? The American dream. The American dream is our greatest invention. And everyone in the world wants a piece of it. Everyone wants it. 20% of our universities here, full of people from other countries who come here because of this amazing American dream that was born here. The original startup nation was born here, perfected here, and they want a piece of it. And we welcome them to the party. It's going to build wealth for the whole world. But it's not going to build wealth for us unless we know that we're being disrupted too. It's an opportunity for us to sell to their markets. That's good. I think that a rising tide will lift all ships. But America is being disrupted. We are being disrupted. We're the incumbents. That means that GE is going to have to start making locomotives in Brazil. It means that GE will make jet engines in China. That is, a lot of those jobs that we thought were our entitlement are no longer. You know what the number one antidote, number one preventative to disruption? It's pretty simple. It's entrepreneurship. Not just entrepreneurs. I mean, entrepreneurs, we think about the startup entrepreneur, the one person or 2 or 3 people who get together with an idea, they risk everything. But I'm talking about entrepreneurship, the process of building, the process of doing and dreaming. That is a powerful force that America must reclaim. America must be the best in the world at this. Again, here in Texas, I think that we're leading the nation in this. And America has been the place where the future came first. And now Texas is the place where the future comes first. If we can see the competition that we have as being disruptive to us, disruptive to our way of lives, to our economy, to the established businesses, that is the companies that today do the heavy lifting of exporting, that is, if we can see that as disruption, then we need to invite entrepreneurship into our organizations. Big ones, small ones, because entrepreneurship is all about finding answers to things. Finding answers, disruptive answers, no matter what impact they have on the established revenue stream, no matter what impact they have on the established competitive landscape. That's why we have to be prepared to disrupt ourselves. We have to be prepared to disrupt ourselves, to keep America as the place, the birthplace, and the rightful place of the American dream for the decade ahead. I want to make one more suggestion as to how Texas can be an even more powerful force in the coming years. And it's the idea of regions. The most powerful regions in America, the most powerful cities are no longer cities, they're regions. And sometimes they're just big cities. They're places like Boston, which goes on forever. It's also cities like Houston, mega cities like Houston that go on forever. But it's also combined cities, cities like Dallas and Fort Worth. It's also regions like Silicon Valley. Without the region, San Francisco would not be nearly as powerful as it is. So I want to unveil my prescription for today. Katie, would you please give me my one slide? Here's my plan. You know what this says? This is the newest region in America. Austin, San Antonio. Great to be with you. Thank you very much.
Would you prepare to join me in a toast? I propose a toast to the American dream.